So today I've given you back feedback on your papers, most of you. Um, I mean, everybody got their feedback. I'm done with the feedback, but a couple of you didn't get feedback or much feedback because what you turned in wasn't something I can give essay feedback on. So check the comments on your paper or in the comment box. I'm going to go over the comments that I put on your papers. So every time I put a comment on your paper, I highlighted it from my comment document. Um, so let's do that first. Bada bing, bada boom. Comments. All right, so here's my comment document. Um, I built it from putting comments on your papers. I write comments on your papers, then I copy and paste it, and I put it on here because it's the same errors. All right, so first, make sure your entire essay is the same font and size, even the header. The entire paper should be the same font and size and color. One of you got that colored thing. So that's understood. Make sure everything's the same font and size and color. This is to be a 5-paragraph essay, no more and no less. Follow these essay guidelines. Follow the essay guidelines. So you get rough draft credit as long as you give me at least a paragraph. If you give me an introduction paragraph, I'll give you feedback on the introduction. I give you feedback on whatever part of the essay you give me. Um, and if you only give me an introduction to give you feedback on, the rest, you know, you better triple check it and make sure it's good. Don't skip lines, go to the next line, go right to the next line. Don't skip lines between your paragraphs, don't skip lines between your title and the first paragraph, don't skip lines between your name heading information and your title. Don't skip lines between the words works cited and your first works cited entry. Go right to the next line, put your first entry in there. Start with an attention grabber. Cleverly engage your audience first. Don't start with the thesis statement. The thesis statement is supposed to be the last sentence of your introduction paragraph, not the first sentence. Cleverly engage your audience first. This is how every single message that you have been attracted to starts. It starts with an attention grabber. Nobody starts off saying something boring because why would they make you want to listen? If you start off with something that would make someone say, so what? And it's not a good attention grabber. If you start off just talking about yourself and the topic is not about yourself, the topic of the paper is not about yourself, then why would people who are interested in your topic care? Why would that attract their attention? So start with an attention grabber. Avoid referring to the paper within the paper, and don't tell us what you're going to do, what you're going to do. Just do it. These two usually go together because usually someone will write, in this paper, I'm going to tell you about blah, 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 blah. Don't do that. Um, we're reading the paper. Just state your argument. Um, don't refer don't refer to other paragraphs in your paper. And Um, I think that comes on a little bit later. Let's see. All right, so don't make any part of this paper overtly about yourself. Since the topic is not about you, don't don't overtly make any part of the paper about yourself. If you want to talk about yourself or an experience that you had, word it so that it becomes a universal experience. Um, don't say, when I ride my bike, it's a joyous physical activity. Just say, riding one's bike is a joyous physical activity, or riding or bicycle riding is a joyous physical activity. In your introduction paragraph with your thesis statement. Thesis statement is the last sentence of your introduction. Your thesis statement should be a single complete sentence that tells the main idea of your entire paper in a self-explanatory way. Don't have any undefined pronouns in your thesis statement. It shouldn't say, that is the reason why this has to be done. What is that? What is this? If I read your thesis statement all by itself on a blank sheet of paper, I should know exactly what your paper is about. I should know what your argument is. Use your thesis statement or argument to tell us what should happen. Remember, your thesis statement must have the word should or must. You can have must in it, but you have to tell us what should happen. Don't tell us what should not happen. That is something called arguing the negative. And when you argue the negative, you're not arguing for one specific thing. You are arguing against one specific thing, but for everything else. So, for instance, if I'm going to use a banned topic here, so you can't use this topic. If we said that um, federal, we should, the United States should have a federal gun license, should mandate a federal gun license. So everybody has to have a gun license according to the federal government. Now, if we said the United States should not implement a federal gun license, now we're just arguing against that one thing. So they can institute a federal I don't know, gun safety class. That's not a license. They can require states to make you get a gun license. They can, I don't know, just take away guns. They can do all these other things as long as they don't have a gun license. So arguing the negative, it opens up, it it gets rid of the focus of your argument. Don't do that. Tell us what should happen. Don't tell us what shouldn't happen. I hope that made sense. All right. Your topic sentences must strongly exemplify the use of the rhetorical appeal you are going for, as well as tell the main idea of that body paragraph. Topic sentences do several things. They refer to the main points mentioned in the intro. Just like thesis statements, they should be single sentences that tell the main point of the paragraph in a complete and self-explanatory way. That basically says the same thing. But in this essay, they also exemplify that rhetorical appeal you're going for. They exemplify it. They don't try to tell what the rhetorical appeal is, they exemplify it. Remember, logos uses logic, numbers, statistics, hard facts, and logical reasoning. Remember, logical reasoning isn't just giving reasons, it's having premises that boil down to a logical conclusion. Like you can't get out of that conclusion. Um, if A is greater than B and B is greater than C, then therefore A is greater than C. And you can set up that premises and conclusion with just about anything. But that's the example. Put substitutions in for the letters. What else did I put on your paper? Um, this is similar. Make sure this topic sentence exemplifies the rhetorical appeal you are going for with this paragraph, whether it's ethos, pathos, or logos. This one's important. Topic sentences should exemplify the rhetorical appeal. Exemplify the rhetorical appeal. Use the rhetorical appeal. Appeal to your audience in that rhetorical appeal. Naming the rhetorical appeal does not work. If you say something is logical, that's ethos. If you say something is emotional, that's ethos. If you're not exemplifying the use of logic or exemplifying the use of emotion, then if you fall under description, if it falls under description, that's ethos. Characteristics, you're putting a judgment on it. But yeah, so ethos is the contains the most, is the biggest of them all. So exemplify the use of it. Begin your sentence with this part so that the focus can be on the appeal you want. Oh, okay, I see. So with this comment, um, with this comment, especially when people try to use pathos, they'll have a compound sentence. So they have a first part, probably a comma and a conjunction, and then a second part of that topic sentence. The issue is that the second part is the part that has an emotion in it or a feeling in it. And if you use that sentence, that thought, and you get all the way to the end and then throw in that feeling, that emotion word, whatever came before that is likely the focus of that sentence. And if you're trying to be pathos and the focus of that sentence isn't pathos, then it's probably going to be ethos. So if you're doing that, if I put that comment on your paper and it's pathos, take that feeling that you put at the end of that sentence, put it at the beginning of the sentence so that topic sentence focuses on that emotion. That will make the topic sentence pathos. See this one. If this is a quote, then cite it. If not, get rid of the quote marks. Don't just put quote marks on things for emphasis. Um, don't just put quote marks on things when you're saying cliche sayings. Um, if it's a quote, quote it. If it's not a quote, don't put quote marks. Now, if you used it in a quote in that same paragraph, let's say you had like a quote that had like 20 words in it. And then later on, you take a term or a phrase, a short phrase from that quote, then you can put that in quotes because it's already in the quote in that paragraph. And you're quoting it like it's a quote. But if you're just putting quotes on things to try to show emphasis, don't do that. Transition sentences. Don't forget about the transition sentences. Transition sentences come at the end of a body paragraph before another body paragraph. Use the quotation sandwich format. Don't forget that each quotation sandwich consists of a first bread, meat, and a second bread. Each part is its own sentence. The meat setup is source plus verb plus comma plus the quote. Any more? And create a dedicated conclusion paragraph with the elements of a conclusion, reworded thesis, main points, and clincher. And let me show you this sentence here. You see that colon there? The colon, what comes before the colon should be a complete sentence by itself. It should be an independent clause. What comes after the colon is what's called a list of particulars, or it's a, it can be an elaboration on what came before it. So create a dedicated conclusion paragraph with the elements of a conclusion. I could put a period there. But what are the elements of a conclusion? Reworded thesis, main points, and a clincher. See how that works? If you find yourself putting a colon in your paper and you can take that colon out and the sentence still makes sense, that colon never belonged there. So if you see that I highlighted a colon on your paper, check that over. Is there anything else from this? Nope. One thing that I was happy to see was that a lot of you did list the extra credit you were going for. Good job. You know how to do it. That extra credit doesn't apply to the rough draft. You still have to list that extra credit for the final draft. Um, but just know that if you list that extra credit and it's wrong, which uh, some of y'all quotation sandwiches were not right. Don't It's not just putting quotes, it's the quotation sandwich. It's what I taught you. And I'm holding you accountable for it for the lessons in this course. Um, so do the things. Like do them how they're supposed to be done. If you have to go back over the lesson is always there. They're always there. They record their videos. You can always go back and check them over. So go back and check them over to make sure that you are doing them right if you want those points.